Hey everybody, so it's me, Chris, Mr. Fashion Mogul. I haven't really made a video in a very long time. A lot of stuff has happened. Um, I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to my page or anything like that or any of these videos, but I did an interview for a youth conference about a week or so ago, which actually went well. It was the first time that publicly I was talking about my status. A lot of people were worried about how people would have responded. Um, People responded actually very well. From that came people wanting to be tested, all of that. Um, People wanted to know why I got quiet. I guess you could say a lot of stuff happened recently. A lot of stuff these past weeks. I've moved. Um, I was hurt a while ago by somebody that's close to me. Um, it kind of broke me to a point. Um, and then that just was like a ripple effect for stress. I hadn't been feeling good. But today I had this interesting experience with my barber. I've never been here before. It was a barber around the corner, and my best friend Brian took me. And so I went. I said, "Hey, is there, can y'all take a walk in and kind of get cut down?" So I went in, and I don't know how we got on the subject of God. I don't know how we started talking about relationship. I think what happened was is I've never had a panic attack in my life or an anxiety attack or anything, but I think I was having an anxiety attack sitting in the chair because there's been so much stuff that's been happening lately. And I just felt myself getting really, 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 really hot and sweaty. And she said, have you ever had an anxiety attack before? I said, no, never. And then she just went into this whole spiel. She said, well, what do you do when you need to de-stress? I said, well, I usually work out. Or I'll wake up in the morning and pray. That's how my mother raised me. So in the morning time, she used to wake up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and she would pray. And it was just something that stuck with me that I wake up now at 6 o'clock and I'll pray. She said, and she started going deeper. She said, do you do any kind of breathing exercises so that it relieves your stress? She said, because you do know that start talking about the ruach of God, which is the breath of God, that the way you're supposed to breathe is from your belly in versus your chest. Some people breathe from the chest and they're not taking a full breath. You're supposed to breathe from your belly. And she said you have to breathe from your belly because she's talking about in Genesis that he breathed life into man, meaning that the depth of the man was the belly. Actually, I know. So, she gave me her card. Her name is Melody. So, she gave me her card, and I'm going to go back to her. But it was one of the best experiences I've ever had with a barber. You know how you have those moments in your life where you need for God to speak. You need to hear that what you're doing in your life is right and it's not wrong. And she asked me about, what am I doing in school? I said fashion design. She said coming from a Christian background, parents being pastors or missionaries, evangelists, all that. She said, do you feel like they judge you in your life? I said, no, they allow me to live my life or whatnot, and they support me in my endeavors. But when I tell you Melody went in on me, it was the basis of the whole conversation was, I guess lately I had been questioning myself about certain stuff, about what I was created to do. Because when I was born and raised in the church, it was almost like I was molded to be a preacher. But as you can see, my choice was to go to design because I'm not a pulpit person. I'm more of a discussion person. If you want to talk about God, let's talk about God. It was a really good conversation. She just kept talking about how God really wants us to breathe Him in. And she was saying to me that God wants His Ruach to continually dwell in me. And she said, do you sing? And we started talking about me doing praise and worship. She said, when you sing, it's as if you are like a ram's horn and you blow a sound. And it's the Ruach of God coming through you. It was amazing. She even said that, yes, I have been hurt in relationships, but the one around me now is the one that it's almost like puzzle pieces. The ones that are in my life now are the puzzle pieces that fit correctly versus me trying to force something else in. I don't know about y'all, but it just inspires me that God will always give you some kind of form of confirmation about what you're doing in your life and if you're doing it correctly. And before I left there, she told me, she said, make sure that you breathe Him in. She said, because as soon as you breathe Him in when you walk out that door, she said the peace of God is going to come on you. Y'all don't understand that when you are positive, sometimes that stress clicks and you get sick a lot because you don't know how to control your stress. I don't know if my life ever helps anybody else out there, whether or not you're HIV positive, if you're wondering if you are. But sometimes just make sure that you are able to take that breath and appreciate the life that you have. Because in appreciating that life, you never know what could happen. Today was an amazing day. That's really all I have to say. Oh, and I got a haircut. As you can see, I look good. So, but yeah, it was good talking to y'all again. Y'all stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. This too shall pass, whatever the situation. A lot of people always talk about He won't put more on us than we can bear, and it's very true. He won't, because He's equipped us for every situation and every circumstance, even situations and problems, and when friends leave or come, and whatever. He's already equipped us. He's given us the equipment to be able to take it all in stride. Even in certain situations, He puts stuff on us because our reward is even greater than our situation. So, y'all be encouraged. I'm about to breathe. So, I'll see y'all later.